run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
Welcome back to continuing coverage of the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic. Day 2 is well underway, and we're getting set for Event 5, the frame carry, presented by Theragun here at the Arnold Strongman Classic. Alongside Dr. Bill Crawford, I'm Sam Farber. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you back with us here, Bill. This is going to be kind of a make or break event. It's the opportunity for the field to catch up to Thor Bjornsson, the Mountain, the two-time defending champion. If there's going to be a slip, this is likely where we'll see it.
That's the main thing he's going to do, is try to not make a mistake, because they could actually, some of the athletes could catch points with him. He just needs to be deliberate and get a good time in. I don't think he needs to have a blistering time. He's done very well in this event in the past, however.
If you're just joining us here in Columbus, Ohio, you've missed a lot. Let's get you caught up. It's been a fun day and a half of competition so far. It all started off with Event 1, Trial by Stone. This is one where Thor Bjornsson came out, set the time to beat, but had it quickly passed by Mateusz Kieliszkowski. He ended up taking 10 points in Event 1. Thor Bjornsson comes back with an, as expected, perfect performance in Event number 2. And then Event 3, the Wheel of Pain. This is where Kieliszkowski really separated himself for the moment.
Absolutely, and he told us afterwards that he had a different training approach than basically everyone else, and it showed that it paid off. It also showed his athleticism and his endurance and strength.
Here we go back to the deadlift, and this is where, again, the separation occurred. Kieliszkowski gave it a best effort, but in the end, this one was going to belong to Thor Bjornsson, and Bjornsson, with this lift of over 1,000 pounds, making it look easy, takes 10 points, and now has established a solid 6.5 point lead on the next closest competitor. It is still Mateusz Kieliszkowski, but honestly, at this point, the Mountain has to make a mistake in order to be caught.
Well, he's already said it. It's his to lose. So at this point, he really needs to just have strong showings in the next couple of events. He's been dominant in some of the events and been right in there in the other events, showing his great bag over bar. This is probably the event that he was least favored in, was the pushing event with the Wheel of Pain. Deadlift was right on par. That was a big deadlift for him, because separating from the field, he didn't expend a lot of energy, and now he's got more energy for the remaining events.
The frame carry is next. We want to get your expert opinion, but first we want to get the expert opinion. Magnus Vermagnuson, the legend himself, standing by with our Kiki Dixon.
Magnus, you are a legend in your very own right. You've also been head judge for the past 10 years with this competition. The athletes are about ready to get after Event number 5, the timber carry. Talk to me about the points of performance. What is the key to this event?
Well, you gotta have a good grip. You gotta pick this thing up fast, and you gotta take off. But you don't want to stumble on the way up. So go as fast as you can without dropping it.
Solid advice. Go fast, but don't mess it up. Thank you, Magnus.
Thank you.
Easier said than done, Bill. How do you break down how you avoid those mess ups that could have such a monumental impact?
Well, like Magnus said, you have to have a good grip. You want to keep your feet moving. You want to outrun your grip in this event, because that is the biggest point. It's 400 kilos. That's 881 pounds in your hands without straps. But you don't want to get rushed, like Magnus said, and have it tip in front of you and hit the platform and could stop you in your tracks.
Competitors will race head-to-head, moving this 881-pound frame up the 35-foot ramp. It's a blessing and a curse maybe to go head-to-head blessing in that you have someone to compete against. That natural competition always helps athletes, but it can be a curse because it can be a distraction. It can give you a false sense of security because you're racing for the best time, not the best time in your heat.
Absolutely. So it could, I think it'd be very distracting if the athlete next to you slows down or drops, but also too it could be distracting because if he's well ahead of you, you might rush and that tip forward, it hits the ramp on the way up, the frame hits the ramp on the way up, and that could stop you in your tracks or slow you down. Every second counts because you'll see there'll be, probably 2 or 3 placements that will be within 1 or 2 seconds.
These are all big guys, obviously, competing here at the Arnold Strongman Classic in 2020, but some are bigger than others. How does a competitor's height, like say the mountain, help or hurt in this event?
It helps because you're more clear of the platform, and also you'll have longer strides. You want to keep tight hands and then also have fast feet. Like we said, outrun your grip, and that's exactly what Magnus was talking about as well. And Magnus is, again, one of the most knowledgeable people in the world on strongman events. 4-time world's strongest man and trained a lot of great athletes, including Thor gave him his start.
Just about ready to get event 5 underway.
Beautiful implements. So the frames in the past, they've remade the frames so that they would weigh the same. Those are barn timbers made by Landon Slater. Landon is the son of Steve Slater. He's learned the trade and been able to do this, but these ramps are beautiful. If you can see them up close, they've got the Rogue quality all the way around. They're just absolutely beautiful. They're well made. There's a safety factor. They didn't have rails before. Now they have rails, so you can't go off the side, so avoiding a little bit of, chance of something bad happening to someone. But the main thing is that this is an event that's been a standard here at the Arnold for a long time. I mean, since the beginning.
We're ready to get going. Our first heat will be Maciej Belsak and Jerry Pritchett. There was discussion that maybe it wouldn't be a full course of athletes going due to some injuries, but they're strong men for multiple reasons, and that includes their resolve. And Maciej Belsak, even though his hip injury has certainly hindered him over the course of this competition, he is going to give it his best effort each and every event.
I just spoke with him. He said it's not a full lift, so he doesn't have to flex his hip too much. So, see if he can stand up and see how it goes for him. He worked really, really hard to get here this year, and has gone through the qualifying process and has had outstanding results here in the past.
We'll go head-to-head with Jerry Pritchett, who had a disappointing deadlift performance. He felt good about what he could post. He gave a really strong effort at 981 pounds twice. Just unfortunately was not his day on the deadlift.
Yes, a little surprised by that. So they're both getting set.
What kinds of times are you anticipating here today?
Well, the record is set by Mike Jenkins at 7.4 seconds. And that means you've got to really just, how do you get that kind of time? You just get momentum. I can't explain it. It's, you just get a groove, and you've got your tight hands, your feet are moving, you've got big strides or whatever, but you're in your groove. And that's what, if somebody picks it up and feels that, then that'll do it. Some of the athletes might feel pressure. I got to catch up some points, and they might rush a little bit. So, see, these two athletes are ready to go.
We go in reverse order of the standings right now. Again, Thor Bjornsson is your leader. He has won 2 events so far in the overall competition and has finished no worse than 3rd in any event all throughout the weekend. He holds a 6.5-point lead. Mathematically speaking, the worst he could do is finish with 39 points. That's the absolute worst. That's if he basically falls down at the start of the event and is unable to continue. Even if that were to happen, there's only 4 athletes that are capable of catching him, and only Mateusz Kieliszkowski has a realistic chance, and he would still need a lot of help. He needs basically Bjornsson to finish the back half of at least one event.
Yes, that is true.
Pritchett on the left, Belsak on the right. Here we go.
Weights are up. Jerry's feet are moving really well. 6 seconds, 7 seconds. He's cresting. He's almost there. Wow, great time. Wow. Yes. That was a great time. You get around 10 seconds, he just threw down that, okay, I'm going to make up some points here. I'm sure he will.
Matthias Belsak, no quit in him. Trying to just move up the ramp as much as he can.
Personal pride, I love it. He has been such a great competitor here at the Arnold Strongman Classic. But Jerry had a smoking time. That shows your deadlift strength right there. You know, he just picked that 880 pounds up so quickly. He's got the tight hands. Look at him moving his feet, moving his feet. He did more than outrun his grip. He smoked that course. Anything around 10 seconds is fantastic. I'm sure he feels vindicated. That is a great, great time. That's going to help him a lot. Let's see how Bobby does with this. This is a new event. They do a lot of farmer's walk and all levels of competition. This is so different though because it's up a ramp. Terry Todd's brainchild. And if Terry Todd thought of it, it's going to be deceptively difficult.
Matthias Belsak officially gets 8 feet 6 inches, and waiting on the official time for Jerry Pritchett still. Our next pairing is Bobby Thompson and Alexei Novikov.
Look how much space Bobby made up with that good deadlift. That's fantastic.
Took fourth in that event.
Yes. So he made up some points.
These two men are currently in a tie for 7th place, so kind of the head-to-head does play a little bit of a role here. You at least know you're ahead of the guy you were tied with coming into this event.
Right. I think also too, and you can actually, yeah, you can understand. Hey, I just passed this guy. If you win on the course, I could say that most likely. I can say that I've been a little surprised by Alexei's performance here. I thought he would have done a little better. He's very good at strength endurance. He's shown that. Let's see how he does with this.
Bobby Thompson on the left. First Arnold Strongman Classic appearance from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Alexei Novikov on the right. His second time here in Columbus. Was the 7th place finisher a year ago, and he is tied for 7th overall right now. Here we go.
Referee's whistle starts them. Already a put down. Uh-oh. It's like Bobby's got an injury to his forearm. He's already got it heavily wrapped. And Alexei's just trying to survive and make up a little bit more space, trying to beat Bobby, and obviously Matthias. They only have 30 seconds, so this only can last so long.
Fighting for every inch. Again, Matthias Belsak moved at 8 feet 6 inches. And the final second there is the referee's whistle, and that'll do it. So neither of these two men able to complete the course. Jerry Pritchett, the only one who has so far, with a time of 10.31. And we'll get the measurements for these two athletes figured out for the points. Unlikely to factor in for guys like Thor Bjornsson or Mateusz Kieliszkowski, but you never know.
That is true. You never know. But that shows how great a time that was for Jerry to not only complete the course, but have around a 10-second time. And he's very experienced at this event. He's been here many years in a row. Unfortunate these two athletes weren't able to get a little more distance out of that.
Bobby Thompson's went 10 feet 5 inches, and Alexei Novikov 13 feet 10 inches. So for the moment, Novikov moves into 2nd, Thompson into 3rd, and now maybe the most inspirational performance of this competition. Mikhail Shivlyakov will be next, competing with an injured ankle. He still finished 3rd in the deadlift. He finished 2nd in bag over bar. It seems the less he has to move in terms of distance, the better he's done. He does have to move quite a ways here,
yes,
and under pretty heavy tension. He'll go head to head.
As he walks, that means the 880-pound implement in his hands, plus his body weight, so it's around probably close to 1,200 pounds or over 1,200 pounds. He's actually on that foot each time he puts a step on it.
Correct. He's actually going head to head with Rob Kearney here. And Rob Kearney was in 4th place at the end of day 1. He has slid back 1 spot to 5th place after one event here today. Very impressive first go of it for this Arnold Strongman Classic rookie from Massachusetts.
So he's wrapping his wrist. Some athletes feel it gives them a better grip.
For both of these men, this is the make or break event to see if they can get into that podium conversation.
Look at Mikhail going up the ramp. Unfortunately, Rob's not even breaking it off the ground to get it up. Look at Mikhail, step by step. Unbelievable. A little more chalk on his hands. He's going to fight for a few more feet if he can.
Shivlyakov trying to finish.
Come on. That is unbelievable that he got that far with that injury. He's got superhuman physical ability and an even more superhuman mind.
So a tough event for Rob Kearney, but Mikhail Shivlyakov continues to impress. That should be enough to move him momentarily into second place in the competition. Right, I should say in this event.
Yes. Picking up valuable points the whole way.
You can see him limping still.
Oh yeah, this is an injury that's going to take him some time to get over, obviously, and quite frankly, sometimes those high ankle sprains might have some other bone issues. So, but he's got the heart of a warrior. He's fighting through it. Okay, very, very important event. Martins cannot make a mistake. If he wants to strike towards the top of the field, he's got to really have a strong performance here.
So Shivlyakov moved at 19 feet 3 inches. That is the new second best performance so far. Now we get into our final four, so to speak, at least on this event. Martins, Licis, and JF Caron will be first. These two separated by 1.5 points in the standings, but they came into this one in the same boat as Rob Kearney. You do well, you got a shot at the podium, and maybe a shot at a top two finish. If you don't, the result is probably going to knock you out of any kind of top three finish.
That's true. That is true. But you know, we've talked on and on about Martins and his big motor. This is where he's going to catch up some points.
Does he have the edge with the motor, or does Caron have the edge with the superior deadlift, at least what was shown so far?
And grip strength. You know, JF's Canadian, they have great grips. He did very well with this, with the farmer's walk at Santa Monica. But Ode Haugen is Martins' coach, so you know he's got a great grip.
Here we go. Licis has it up, so does Caron. Brings it down.
He's still moving. He's still going.
Licis.
He's almost there. Oh, he dropped. That costs you so much time. It's so much harder to get it back up, but he's cresting. He's still got to get it over that line.
Won't be the best time, but he will post a time. Very impressive. Martins, Licis.
Completing the course.
On the other side, JF Caron fighting for every inch. And Caron.
So usually more athletes finish on this implement, but it's usually a little earlier in the competition. It's been the last event sometimes as well. Got his grip, tight hands. He's not bouncing it off the front of the frame off the platform. Keeps his feet moving. He's trying to outrun that grip. That was an unfortunate drop because he was right at the line, but able to get it over. Excellent effort. The second athlete to finish.
17.37 seconds. That'll help him out a lot. JF Caron still waiting to get his distance. Meanwhile, Mateusz Kieliszkowski and Thor Bjornsson will be our final heat. Bjornsson in first place. If he finishes this course, he will be in great shape. And if Kieliszkowski doesn't, he might not be able to catch the mountain.
I would agree with that. And they're both really, really good at this event. I would have to give Thor a nod on this because he's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger stride, and he's done this a couple more times than Mateusz has, but it's really a toss-up. I'd love to see them both finish without a drop. and make it a really exciting race and get some energy in this. This is a great event. It's an old classic here at the Arnold Strongman Classic. It's like a farmer's walk. The difference between a farmer's walk and this is that up the ramp, the handles fit in your hands a little differently because you're not on level ground, and they also don't move.
JF Caron, 26 feet 6 inches. That is good to put him in 3rd place for the moment. But these two big men still to come. Thor Bjornsson, Mateusz Kieliszkowski. Each of them has won 2 events over the course of the competition. But Thor has finished no worse than 3rd in anything. And Kieliszkowski, an 8th place finish in the deadlift, really has put him behind.
Yes. But if he wants to keep Thor in sights, he's got to stay right with him on this one. And if Thor doesn't want to create space, he cannot make a mistake here. This is the event we've been saying. This is the place where he could actually have some, this could be the place where he made a mistake and let others catch him.
Thor, an athlete in his prime, 31 years old, a 2-time defending champion here at the Arnold Strongman Classic.
He's showing that calm of confidence, and that's bad for everybody. So
he has been locked in. He wants this overall prize even more so than maybe that momentary honor on the deadlift. He is locked in for this moment. Can he extend his advantage? Here we go. Kieliszkowski got it up first and is ahead. Thor drops it. Kieliszkowski sailing to the top with the best time of the day.
Wow.
Thor struggling. This is going to have a huge impact.
This is huge. He's got to finish this course.
Thor dragging it up as far as he can. He's got a few seconds. Can he finish the course?
No. No.
Doesn't quite get there, and a time of 7 seconds flat for Mateusz Kieliszkowski, and he has put himself right back in the picture.
Wow, that is shocking. Well, we kept saying this is the place to make it up. Great grip, keeps his feet moving, that super athletic ability. Did not have a drop. Wow, finished that so quickly. I wonder if that's actually the record.
Being told 7 seconds flat.
7 seconds flat is the new record on the frame carry. That is unbelievable. Barehanded, 880 pounds in 7 seconds up a 35-foot ramp. Amazing. Superior effort.
Absolutely unreal. We're still waiting to get the official distance on Thor Bjornsson, and every point matters here. If he made it further than Shivlyakov, which we think he did, he'll be in good shape there. But for the moment, we know the winner, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, is the event winner, a time of 7 seconds, and he's on the event floor with Kiki.
Mateusz, what an incredible performance here. Obviously, you're trying to outrun your grip. How are you training your grip back home?
This event, exactly, I train same, maybe not same uphill like here, but still uphill. And my grip is very slippery. It's painting, but it's slippery. Here is like bar. It's not possible to drop this. So I train harder at home than competition. So it's really pay for me.
Now, you guys are going head-to-head in this instance. How much should that impact and play into your performance here with Thor?
Wow, it was a really nervous time for me because I saw him, he's really strong, he's best in the world. I wanted me to be the best, don't mistake.
Congratulations, very impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kiki, and take us through this very impressive effort.
It's so quick, I can't say that much. I mean, he just shot up the ramp. He didn't have to run his grip because he was so fast.
We're still getting the official standings together, but based off what we can do on the unofficial side, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, full 10 points for the best finish. He is now in with 40.5 points. He entered this event 6.5 points back of Thor Bjornsson, and now, to the best of our knowledge, he has closed that gap to 3.5 points.
So it's down to Mateusz's best one, his best event at the end.
We'll have full standings and a full preview of Event 6 later on this evening. For now, we're going to take a quick break here at the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic. The fun is just getting started. Mateusz Kieliszkowski going to go head-to-head with the Mountain. The Rogue Iron game from the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic is brought to you by GoRuck. Founded by a Green Beret, GoRuck is an American brand with Special Forces roots. Theragun, change the way you move. Yeti, built for the wild. Rogue, don't weaken. And the Arnold Sports Festival.